The Maselli Group presents seminars and workshops, advanced presentation skills for financial professionals, with Frank Maselli, financial industry expert and author of the best-selling book, Seminars, The Emotional Dynamic. Episode 14, Change.
Hi, I'm Frank Maselli. We are now in episode 14, getting close to the final emotions here. This one is called change. Change is an extremely emotional process. People hate making changes, okay? They would rather continue doing what they've been doing for years than change their process. It confuses them. Let's talk about it. Change, I think, is emotional. It takes a tremendous amount of effort. It's very scary, okay? It puts us into the realm of the unknown versus the familiar. You've heard the phrase, the devil I know is better than the devil I don't know. If I make this change, what's going to happen to me? I know where I am today. I know what my process is. I know my advisor, and even though he's not the smartest guy in the, the sharpest knife in the drawer, I'm still comfortable. I'm comfortable with the process. So you've got to give them a reason to make changes, and you've got to make change seem comfortable to them. There are three messages that you need to deliver when we're talking about change. I call these simply the change messages. And you can deliver them in many ways, but straight up is fine, okay? Simple. Change is normal. That's the first message. Change is normal. You want people to understand that there is no status quo. In the world of money and investing, status quo means death. Nothing stays the same for very long in our world. And they have to understand that keeping up is absolutely essential, and it's the bare minimum. Keeping up is the bare minimum. So change is a completely normal, and the pace of change is actually pretty quick. You, as a professional, need to be comfortable with this pace of change, and you just have to say to the audience, folks, this is nothing complicated. This is nothing we can't handle. This is our bread and butter. We do this all day, every day. So don't feel as though making changes is a challenge, because it really isn't to us, which ties them to you in some way. The second message is change is good. It's beneficial. Remember the dinosaurs? The dinosaurs, exposed to a very serious, cataclysmic global event, big environmental change, they couldn't adapt, and they're gone, okay? When you can't adapt, you're not going to survive. Right now, in the world of money and investing, I could make the case for you that, the giant meteor has struck our world. And things have changed. Fundamental investment principles that were true 15, 20, 50 years ago and had been true for 200 years, those principles have changed. And as an investor, if you can't keep pace with that change, you could end up being a dinosaur. Simple example, the buy and hold mentality that was so good to us from 1982 to 2000 during the Great Bull Market. That mentality has shifted. Buy and hold is the kiss of death today, and that violates a core principle that we all grew up with. So change is good. Change is normal. Change is good. And it's easy and painless. People think, and I'll give you a strange example for this, people think that if they change brokerage accounts, they're going to have to physically go see their existing broker and explain to them why they want to leave. And, there's going to be crying and gnashing of teeth, hand-holding, screaming. It's not like that. Change is a signature. Change is done like that. In our profession today, we have taken all the pain out of change. We have made it extremely easy, some would say too easy, to make changes. But you want the client to know that at no point in the change process will they be exposed, will they be uncomfortable, will they be made nervous or stressed or tense. It's easy as a breeze. Let's show you how you do it, and let's walk through the change process. The final message is change, to me, is beneficial. There is a reason I want you to work with me. And now this gets into the world of your commercial. The commercial is a vital part of any presentation. You're going to actually do a commercial about yourself. You're going to tell that audience something about you. What are you going to say, when are you going to say it, and how you say it? First, let's talk about the when. Most financial professionals put the commercial up front, right in the beginning of the seminar. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our seminar. I'm Frank Maselli. Before we get started, I'd like to tell you about the Maselli Group and what we can do for you. Okay, Disastrous mistake. You heard me talk about this earlier when we looked at the ideal agenda. You'll notice if you go back to the ideal agenda, the commercial comes at number 13. It's at the end. You have not earned the right to do a commercial right in the beginning of the seminar or the workshop. You haven't. Plus the fact they're not even comfortable in their chairs yet, and here you are doing a commercial. They're not ready to hear it. They're not used to the sound of your voice yet. You haven't earned it, and they're not ready for it. So putting the commercial up front is the worst place to do it. Put the commercial toward the end, refer to your agenda to see exactly where it goes. Now, what does the commercial look like? And you can't do a 30-minute commercial, by the way. Commercial has to be quick, it's got to be tight, it's got to be well practiced. There are 5 quick things you need to address in the commercial. Here they are. Who are you? I'm a financial advisor with, Blowhard and Boggle, okay? I'm a vice president with such and such. What do? We are a full-service financial services firm, which means we do planning, we do annuities, we do retirement, we do stocks and bonds. What do you do? All right, what is your expertise? What do you do? Which is interesting. Let's talk about you now. I may have a subspecialty. I'm an expert in, stock option financing. I'm an expert in such and such. So talk about your firm and yourself. Keep it simple. How are you the same? How are you the same as every other major investment firm out there? Why is this important? Well, because if you've invited the right people to your event, they are being prospected by 5 to 10 to 15 other financial professionals. And they need a basis of comparison. They need to understand that there's nothing other firms can do that you can't do. Now, assuming this is true, I mean, if you're a niche practitioner, if you only do one thing and that's your specialty and it's, fixed indexed annuities and that's it, it's all you do, then you can't say, hey, I'm the same as a Merrill Lynch, Bank of America, I'm the same as a UBS. You can't say that. All right, so as long as it's true, you can say, listen, Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, I'm an advisor with Morgan Stanley, there's nothing I can't do. I'm with Thrivent Financial, there's nothing we can't do. There's nothing that other firms can do that we can't do. So how are you the same? Keep it simple. And then, critically, how are you different? You've all heard the expression that differences sell. It's the differences that will drive them to you. What is the experience going to be like with you versus with other professionals? What do you bring to the table that I cannot get with other financial advisors? This is a critical element, and this is the part you really have to hone down and work on. What do you do? How are you special and unique? Why should I work with you? Keep it simple, keep it tight, but it's got to be in there. You've got to have a difference. There has to be a reason for me to work with you that is something different and special. And I tell people this, my commercial was brutally simple. I said, folks, listen, there's absolutely nothing. There's nothing that I can bring you from a product standpoint that you can't get from 50 other advisors in town. I have nothing unique to offer you. We all have the same stuff. There's only one thing I have that's different, and that's me. You're looking at it. This is it. When you work with us at the Maselli Group, you get me. I am the difference. My experience, my wisdom, the things that I've seen and done, the people that I know, my contacts, that's what you're getting. And that is unduplicatable. It cannot be replicated anywhere on the street. If it means something to you, if you like this, we've got a relationship. If you walk out of here, I've given you tremendous information, which you can use anywhere. You can take it to your existing advisor and use it with them. Because if you don't like this, then we don't have a relationship. So think about it. Simple, easy. And finally, why do I care about the differences? I care about the differences because in today's world, where you get your advice makes a big difference. Who's giving you that advice? What axe do they have to grind, okay? What's the hidden agenda in the mix? I think you have to tie it into their lives. I think you have to say, folks, why are these differences important to you? I told you I was an expert in retirement planning. Why is that important? Well, simple decisions that you make now, 5 years before retirement, will affect you 20 years in retirement. And frankly, there aren't that many people who know the things that I know. Again, think long and hard about your commercial. Perfect the delivery of your commercial. This is your chance to shine. And I think of it in simple terms, okay? Let me give it to you very easily. Imagine that you took a 30-second spot on the Super Bowl, all right? It's the New England Patriots with the best quarterback in the history of football, Tom Brady, against, I don't know, does New York have a football team? The Giants, we'll say. New York Giants against the New England Patriots, greatest game of the year, both teams undefeated, coming into the Super Bowl, and you've got a 30-second commercial. What are you going to do? I mean, you're going to roll the dice? You're going to have the clients do it? Who was that? Was it Doritos that had their, that had people from the street, YouTubers do it, okay? No. You're going to take your time. You've invested $6 million to do this 30-second thing. You're going to give it a lot of thought. You're going to be careful and professional about the process. Change is hard. In the mind of the client, in the mind of the people in that room, the last thing they want to do is make changes. You've got to make the process comfortable. You've got to give them a taste of what they're going to get with your commercial. And you've got to let them know that it's totally normal and easy to do.